Donald Trump has announced that one of the US National Guard soldiers who was shot on Wednesday in Washington has died. The president said 20-year-old National Guard member Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia died in hospital with her family by her side. He added that the second National Guardsman who was shot, 24-year-old Andrew Wolf, is fighting for his life. He also said the alleged shooter remains in a serious condition. The shooting happened a short walking distance from the White House in Washington, D.C. The suspect shooter was identified as an Afghan national who had worked with the CIA in Afghanistan. Authorities say he drove across the country from Washington state, allegedly to carry out the attack. We'll cross live to Washington in a moment to speak to our correspondent Sean Dilley, who has been following the latest development. But first, here's more of President Trump's reaction.
I heard that Sarah Beckstrom of West Virginia, one of the guardsmen that we're talking about, highly respected, young, magnificent person, started service in June of 2023, outstanding in every way. She's just passed away. She's no longer with us. She's looking down at us right now. Her parents are with her. It's just happened. She was savagely attacked. She's dead. She's not with us. Incredible person. Outstanding in every single way, in every department. That's horrible. As you know, the other young man is fighting for his life. He's in very bad shape. He's fighting for his life, and hopefully we'll get better news with respect to him.
Let's speak to our North America correspondent now, Sean Dilley, who's in Washington. Sean, some very somber news for the country to take in on Thanksgiving with the death of 20-year-old Sarah, whose father was by her bedside in her final hours.
Yeah, I think we can all agree with President Trump when he said it's horrible, because it is horrible. And actually there was a little bit of imagery in the speech that he'd given on Thanksgiving from Florida, from Mar-a-Lago, talking about Sarah and, her father, Gary, telling the New York Times earlier in the day that he'd been holding her hand, that he'd felt that the wounds were mortal and that it's not something she would recover from. Instead of sharing Thanksgiving dinner in West Virginia together, they were at her bedside, knowing that she was all but gone with her mortal injury. Now, the president's announcement in Mar-a-Lago very much reflected that horror, that upset. At the time, obviously, it felt like that was a duty that he probably took quite seriously. And as I'm sure we'll come on to talk about in a moment, his reaction afterwards has been, very much more dramatic.
Sean, what more have we learned